All right, ladies and gentlemen, gonna make a quick video here with my boy. So we are going to showcase in no uncertain terms how exactly to use bubble cancel hearth to save entire dungeon wipes in hardcore World of Warcraft. So I'm gonna do this the harder way. It's much easier if you do this as the tank. Because if you're not the actual tank, if you're the healer, you actually have to spend the time and the mana and the energy to rip aggro off of the tank. Otherwise, this doesn't work. My suggestion, of course, is that if you actually are the healer in a group, and I always do this even in level 60 raids and so forth and so on, is I always heal with Righteous Fury on. That way, I am basically the second highest threat level dingus in any given environment in case the tanks lose aggro. The enemy mobs or whatever will come after me, and since I'm even in like cloth healing gear with a shield as a paladin under raid conditions, you still have like 50% armor, so you can take a hit or two. Basically, is what I'm saying. So we're gonna showcase this real fast. So I'm gonna tell him go. And he's going to run in here and gather up a few mobs. We tried this before, and we actually got screwed over by a runner. So one of the runners ran this way, and then when we did the bubble thing, it punched him like just barely in time. We'll get a few more mobs over here while we're at it, just for the hell of it. All right, so gather up a couple more. Okay, cool. That should be fine. All right, cool. So let's say this is the situation that we're in, right? And yeah, we could run out, but that's not what's going to happen. Instead, we're just going to heal. What? Okay, or not. But I need to rip aggro off of our boy here, one way or the other. Which is going to be a little difficult because there are kickers, but just give it a sec. So we are going to avoid runners pretty much at all costs. Let's see here. So we got one mob is left over. I need to rip aggro off. I got to do whatever it takes to rip aggro. Okay, so I think we're killing this guy right here because we don't want any more damn runners because that's what screwed us over last time. Yeah. We're not doing any runners. There will be no running around here. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So now I need to rip aggro off this guy, but unfortunately he's probably still got his Righteous Fury up and all that stuff. There's also one runner here, yada, yada, yada. So we should be fine to go in a second once we kill this guy. All right, I'm going to tell him go. Run? Okay. Wait. We need this guy. Yeah, we can't. I got to kill him too. Okay, cool. So this is hard to do because our homie didn't stop aggroing at all, right? So he's hearthing, right? In the background, you can see that. So I'm gonna bubble. I'm gonna cancel bubble, and I'm gonna hearth with him. And he'll hearth out in a second, successfully. The mobs will spin around, come after me, but it's too late, and then we're out. Boom. So what your tank is supposed to do in this situation when you see things going really badly, so you can see we're both back here just fine now, lol. Your tank is supposed to chill on the aggro, to recognize the situation's absolutely terrible, it's kind of horrifying, basically to go full defensive and to chill on the aggro, which our boy here obviously wasn't doing, so it took a million years to pull aggro off of him. But if you're the healer, you have to heal, rip aggro off the mobs. Once you get all the aggro off of the mobs, you just face tank them for a while, you let everybody else run away and start hearthing, and then you bubble yourself and blah, 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 blah. So the reason why this works, let's talk about the mechanics of this for a second. So when you bubble and your bubble wears off or you cancel your bubble or whatever, you basically have 1 point of aggro on the mob. So let's say you had X number of aggro on the mobs. The number is X. Like you had 1,000 points of aggro on the mobs, right? The sheer act of bubbling and canceling it or bubbling and letting it wear off, you only have 1 point of aggro on the mobs. If you do anything to put an additional point of aggro on those mobs, like anything whatsoever, it'll give you back all the aggro that you had previously. So if you put 1 point of aggro on those mobs, it'll go from 1 point of aggro to X plus 1 point of aggro. So you'll get all the aggro back. So what's happening there is I'm bubbling, I'm canceling, and next thing I know, I'm the lowest guy on the list as far as aggro is concerned. So all the mobs go someplace else and chase somebody else, so you can just hearth out nice and peacefully. So you can always use this to rat out as a paladin on hardcore, like no problems, 100% of the time. But more importantly, if you're able to coordinate with the tank, And especially if you're the paladin tank in the situation, it becomes super, super easy for you to use bubble in coordination with one other guy to save an entire party in a dungeon, because all you have to do is face tank the mobs just long enough so that somebody else can get enough distance that they can hearth out. The other thing you probably noticed in the video is that my boy here completed his hearth, and even though he was phasing out, there was something stupid, like 3 or 4 seconds, probably like 4 seconds of him phasing out where the mobs were still on top of him before they swapped around and went after you. So you don't need a lot of distance. You don't need a lot of stuff. If you're not using this in hardcore, you're literally stupid. If I see any more death compilation videos of paladins getting killed in dungeons and they don't know how to do this, I don't know what to tell you guys. Anyways, I'm ending the video here, and Deus Volt, boys.